Hi, everybody.
Hey,
How
hey.
are you? Well, hello. How y'all doing, ladies?
We're good.
We're
Let's
good.
do a
We're
check
so
in.
good.
Let's check in. Let me start with Tamika. Tamika, how was your day?
It was good. I relaxed a lot, got some stuff done. I'm chilling.
Oh, you look like you chilling. You look real chill like right now.
Comfortable.
Trying to get my feng shui.
All right, Faith, how you doing?
I'm here to discuss. Let me put it that way. I've been working all day. I'm a little
Yeah,
tired.
over. How are you right now, then?
Oh, I'm good now. Now I'm
Okay.
good. I had a couple of drinks. I'm good. I'm good.
Tasha, how are you?
Better. Look, I've been putting out fires all day, but we made it through, so I'm good.
That's what we Sagittarius do, you know.
I know, right? We don't always set it on fire. Sometimes we have to put them out.
That's just what we do. That's what we do. We all about the fire. All right. And how are you, Andrea?
Hi.
I know. Where's your horn, baby? Let me get your horn over here. So I don't know why I just don't do this anyway. Oh, wrong horn.
Hey. That's how I am in general all the time. So
That's gonna be her horn.
yeah, I had a good day. I was a bit productive, a bit relaxed. Got some dinner made, and looking forward to a nice review crew tonight. I'm excited.
Me too. Me too.
We ready.
Yeah, we ready. Let's get into it, y'all. So, okay, let's go ahead and get it set up for the people. So we're talking about Married at First Sight. That was Wednesday's episode, and I believe it was called "Defending My Wife."
Mm-hmm.
And it was a spirited episode, to say the least.
Oh.
Very spirited, as the people call it. And we see that a few things transpired, and we'll get into it. But overall, give me y'all's, out of 10, where you rate this episode.
I'm gonna give it a good 8.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna do an 8.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it like a 6.5 or 7, only because there are some some of the people this season that I know will blow it up even more, and so it was great, but only because I know they're gonna really really act a fool later. I'm starting low, so I'm giving them 6.5 or 7 because they're gonna show their ass. Can I say that?
Yeah. We
show their ass later on. I don't think this was an iceberg as to what these people are gonna bring.
They gonna bring it in the next couple of episodes. So I'm with the 7. I totally agree.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm about. If I were being honest, I probably would give it. I don't know, y'all. Like I'm about to give it a low ranking today. Like
you always give stuff a low ranking.
I do. I grade real hard.
Are you going 4 here?
I'm looking at a 4 or 5.
Okay.
Only because I felt like again it's kind of beating a dead horse. So
I think I saw a lot of undertones, so that's what made me give it the rating that I gave it, because I've been looking at them like, So I'm just waiting, because I saw so many undertones and I read through
them. Yes. And that's the thing. That is the thing that I wanted to get. That's why we titled it the way that that's why I gave it this title, because one of the things, yes, overall, we're talking about the same issue, but we are really going to dig into the whole idea of how people confront other people about their business, number one. If it's okay to ever overstep, and if you felt like there was some overstepping, and then also some of those cultural nuances that they may have missed out on, or so those cultural cues that, for us as a people wouldn't have been cool, or also just one of those things that people tend to overlook culturally when you're talking about addressing situations, especially publicly, and publicly just meaning within that group of 10 of them, how it was, how everything was done. So I kind of want to get into that. So
let's put that now or later.
Well, we're gonna go by the list. We're gonna go by the list right now.
We're gonna stick to the list tonight.
We're gonna stick to the list tonight. I got y'all list. Hold your list up. And if you ladies, if you have your review Bible, please hold it up.
The book of you can say the review Bible.
Your review Bible list. Yes, we got the review Bible. Hold it up for the people.
This is my Bible. I believe what it says.
Right, no.
Yes.
You ain't.
You better go to your old thing, don't do it.
You know what I say I am? Look, come on here. Come on.
I'm sorry.
I get out with y'all, and then I absolutely.
Y'all shouldn't let me pregame. You should not let me pregame. Okay,
that's okay. The pregame part, y'all have to know the pregame and the after party are always fun.
Woo!
Right.
We be doing themmost.com, so y'all have to know we are already jovial at this point. So.
Yeah, we are.
So let's go ahead and break it down a little bit for everybody. So actually, this is day 4 of the marriage. Can y'all believe
it? Feel like it's been weeks. Oh, it feels like it's been weeks, Jesus.
Yeah.
Paige is
day 4, 5, and 6 in one.
They leave on day 7, right?
Yeah, they depart on day 7 to go back home. So what we actually walked into at the end of this is day 4. So we see, everybody's waking up. Good morning. And they're doing their let's see what kind of stuff we're going to get into, kind of conversations. And some of them are having deep conversations and some of them just having surface conversation. Now, we know Eric and Virginia ain't seen sober since they got there.
Man, they've been living the whole trip. The entire trip.
Eric has seen a little bit.
He didn't drink like that at first. So I'm like,
Eric has seen a little bit of sober. Virginia has not.
But let's think about this also. Eric is a throw the rock and hide the hand kind of drinking person. Have you noticed he stay on her? You can't be doing this. You can't be drinking it. And why you right next to her doing the same thing?
He was
talking about sloppy drunk too, and holding together, talking about I'm holding, doing, I'm
feel like they done had some edibles as well, because
they done had everything.
There's something going on.
If they wanted it, they got it that week.
Oh my God! Because
they were awake during the guy's time. He literally could not keep himself awake, and that's why
I said, "Are you falling asleep?"
Vincent and Kristen, are you all right? You okay?
Yeah, but Mr. Conservative, honey. Yeah, I look. We got the drunkards. I thought edibles too.
Hey, Ann. Yeah, I didn't think about the edibles. She holds hers better,
but
she
also has a liver, so she should be able to hold it.
Yeah, she a for real alky. That's all she do.
And I'm telling y'all, you know what? If you want to go party, you find the party girl. You don't go hang with people that are occasional partiers. You hang with the people who do this for a living.
Professional.
They were high and drunk. They were hunk.
Wait, that's a new hashtag. That's the hashtag.
Hold on, let me give you an air horn so you can do it.
We need to come up with you know how they do on there's a certain show on a certain network and they say whenever you hear this word, drink it. So we need to come up with a word.
That's gonna be our word of the night. The word of the night. Okay. When you hear that word, just go ahead and take a
sip.
Because you can do just like Virginia did, because, honey, Virginia said when they woke up, they rolled over and they were like, what do you want to do today? Yeah, I want something fruity to drink. Like,
and let me go here. Did y'all see on the counter in the room where they had the 5-ball? Let me tell you, that's what messes you up every time.
Let me tell you.
They had a 5-ball.
But also Miller Lite.
Yeah.
They had some indiscriminate vodka looking item.
I didn't see that. Okay.
They had the line up.
I think I saw some ketos up there too, if I'm not
Hey, Sharita.
Look, we got hashtag hunk.
Hashtag hunk. That's Virginia and what's his name?
And Eric. Because
Eric.
If y'all are on YouTube and you watch Courtney and Eddie, they call them Jack Daniels and Ciroc. And I'm just like,
the crap stable.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like he was on something. And let me go here.
Yeah, he is a pilot. But here's the thing. If you a pilot, a lot of them live that lifestyle, that fast lifestyle where they be sober doing their hours.
They know how to go hard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When I saw the movie, when Denzel Washington was the pilot and the plane was finna, go over, but he landed the plane, but he was high as a kite.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't
know what to do because that's muscle memory. She said, I'm still shocked the party girl had never been to Vegas before. Was she just 26?
Virginia was the one that had never been?
Yeah, Virginia had never been.
Never been.
Oh, that was Haley that said she went 6 times last year.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I go all the time.
Like, a boring girl.
That's telling. We're going to get to Haley. But that's telling.
Right. Okay. So let's get on down with it. So, everybody else is kind of getting ready for the day. This is one of them days where they have their outings and everything. Nothing really significant other than Clara and Ryan again talking about, the fact that Ryan ain't never said I love you to anybody. So I just think Ryan is, I don't know about y'all. I think Ryan is gun shy about saying it. I think he's probably been in love before, but he never actually admit it because he has this whole box of what he thinks that love should look like. So he'll never actually say it until he's in what he deems to be a committed relationship, even though,
But I found that crazy because he said that he was in one relationship for a number of years.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna go no number of years and you never tell me
you love me.
I understand that it's an action and you show it. So, some people don't need to hear it all the time. But after a couple of years,
I need to hear the L word.
My note on that
how much you love all of this.
All of this. I think it's fine that Ryan hasn't said it as long as he's not using it as a crutch. And I think that's where he's leaning towards, is using, it has to look a certain way before I say it. And so he's using it as a crutch so that he doesn't ever have to say it because it has to be perfect.
Now, you know what?
And we all know it's not going to be perfect.
Right. You'll never see it the way that your brain paints the picture. Right. The other thing is, I'm glad that you said that because this kind of reminds me, the way that he's gun shy about saying I love you reminds me of about how Iris was gun shy about having sex for the first time.
Yes.
So, everybody was just on her, you should just be doing it. I was like, well, no, it's her virginity and her body to give.
Right.
And, I'd rather somebody who says, I'm not sure yet. I don't want to share my body. And that's the difference between her and Ryan as well. Because you can say, I love you and be like, I take it back. You can't take back.
They did Amani like that last season, remember?
that?
Amani. They did her like that with Woody. He was in love after what? A week.
He was in love with his wife before.
And I love me some Woody and Amani.
Girl.
Now let me tell you about their love story real quick. Let me go off the rails for a minute. The thing about Amani and Woody that I really love is they have their own channel too. But they were talking about actually before they got married, they actually met each other.
Yes.
The thing about it though was both of them had just found out they were engaged, through Married at First Sight. So they
my God, are you
serious? So they stood apart from each other.
And they decided, because it was like, well, I just found out I got matched. So they both of them saw each other. They zinged. Y'all know that movie. What's the name of the movie? Hotel Transylvania. They said they zinged. Anyway, they zinged. And so they saw each other then when they were out. And then once they got down the aisle, they were like, "Oh, it's you!" And so they had this meetup.
It was at the honeymoon. They didn't realize it until they were on their honeymoon.
He didn't know. She said, "You don't remember me?"
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. So
she was a bartender. She was a bartender, and he came up to the bar and he kind of flirted, but they both didn't do anything more because they had been matched.
They were committed to the process.
3 weeks later, they were each other's person.
But and this also goes to show you that if you believe that whatever it is out there for you, you know how we always say whatever's out there for me is for me, then trust in that, walk away, and it'll come back to you every time because it belongs to you anyway.
Laws of attraction.
Yep, laws of attraction right there, what you said.
Yes.
Okay, so this kind of off the subject, but my spirit ain't gonna sit right until I say this.
Let me get my spirit fan.
Does Ryan's hair bother anybody?
What happened?
Ryan's hair.
Ryan's hair bother anybody but me.
I think Ryan really wants to be eccentric.
Ryan needs to do that shit just ain't right. I'm sorry.
I think Ryan is, and it's so funny. Like, we didn't talk about a lot of particular things, like when we were talking before we got started, but so many things that we all noticed. It's like, yes. And Ryan is, I made a note, he's like methodical. You know what I mean? So that's a bit of a military haircut, but I don't think he's ever said that he was in the military.
Yeah.
Which says about like his haircut and Jacob's
are similar.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Y'all know I keep messing them up. Who is Ryan? Is Ryan the boring one?
No, Ryan is the black one.
Thank you. He needs to cut it. It ain't right.
Ryan is the one that's with Clara, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking of the right person. Jacob, yes. Ryan and Jacob's haircuts are similar to me. They have this a bit of a robotic kind of thing about themselves, and their hair that. So I was kind of looking at his haircut tonight, and I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" But
if you listen to him, he likes routine things, and I feel like he did that one hairstyle one time, and that he knows how to make that one work.
He needs his contour. He needs his contour and his haircut.
Ryan kind of strikes me as that dude that once you stop messing with him, his ass gonna jump out the bushes like, "Will you be?" Like, who is that? Oh my God! No. I'm scared of his ass. I like the bushes, girl.
Listen,
not the bushes.
Look, the whole bush though. The entire bush.
The whole bush.
I am in the bush. Okay, look. Oh God.
Conservatively boring facts. You know, and that's the thing. I think that Ryan gets stuck in a routine. And I think that's the one thing about him that I keep noticing is that he keeps talking about liking being, you know, in a certain routine. He doesn't like to really waver from that, which is another reason why I think that, you know, he ain't ever going to give up the L word because it's not part of his structured, you know, daily goings on type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
How you get married? Why would you?
You're supposed to be getting bored, and you know it was Rona D out there last year, and so they just needed some. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, and it's like you can tell, like her face that crushed her because she was just like, well, shit, you know, like
I be in love.
What did I just get into the middle of? And so you can tell that he's
matter of fact.
He's very
matter of fact.
And I don't see much wiggle room for her. It's almost like if she makes the tiniest mistake, it's gonna be like
he's gonna hold it against her. He
showed some of that in that later scene. He was like, keep your mouth shut. Like,
because even when they were in
the script,
when they were in the guys and girls group, she's the one that went to the camera and said, you know, Ryan has asked me not to talk about our, you know, sexual relationship, which here's the thing. Okay, I'm with that. Okay, if that's not what you want to do, but it's coupled with everything else. Like he's always doing it. It's not like he just went to her and said, "Hey, babe, they're going to ask us about this on the show."
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Right? They're trying to make our sex life drama, but it seems to be in a lot of ways. Ryan is the one that he will mold the woman into what he needs her to be. Just like, I mean, some of us women, we do the same. But Ryan is one that, and he is patient with it. He will patiently mold her into the woman that he needs and wants her to be. Right now, Clara is doing that, and that may work for them, and that's okay.
Yeah, because my thing is that he
kind of turns and says, "This isn't what I want." That's where they're going to have a problem.
Yeah, and my whole thing is that how can you be on a old amount of information that he wants to do? So how can you be on a reality show demanding privacy? Exactly.
Like
I'm tired of stuff, y'all.
Like he mowed his hair to slick it down. Yeah,
he mowed his hair and his women.
You look like Jimmy Neutron with their hair.
Oh my God, no Jimmy Neutron.
Yes, he does.
Oh
Lord. Okay.
I can't with y'all. I cannot.
This is why we're here.
Exactly. This is why I can't with y'all. So okay, so we've talked about the mornings and everything. Let's talk about the ladies round table, and then and we've talked about a little bit with the guys discussion, right? So the girls are sitting around, they kind of going round robin. How's your marriage going? Hey, blah, blah, blah. And if you notice, they go back and forth. So you see the girls talking, then you see the guy talking. You see the girls talking, you see the guy talking. I see your hand up. Go on, baby.
Because I made a note about that too.
I know
you did.
Notes. Girl, have you met me? Have you been in the thread? Y'all can't see. Y'all know I don't know how to show my notes. Y'all know I can't show my notes. I don't know how to work my camera. I don't know how to work my camera.
For those of y'all in the audience, we have what we call our Bible.
We got clip notes.
We got notes. We have
checklist Bible
for y'all. I can't see any. There it is. See all them notes? I can't see them. Y'all see all them notes?
Yes. Love it.
And I broke it down by scene. You see that? Like scene. Yeah, I broke it down by scene.
Lord,
that's the what it is. That's me. I've learned. But I don't appreciate those particular scenes because I've been watching, Married at First Sight for years. I don't recall a season where they sit around as much talking about what do you like and what do you like, and isn't it going amazing?
It's not anything for them to do though.
I was about to say
for me, it is because of Paige and Chris, and I don't appreciate them creating an atmosphere where where they're going to be uncomfortable, where you're going to get reaction. That's what's going on. They're saying, let's do a round table and ask how it's going. And Chris is going to sit there looking crazy. That's a reaction. And then Paige is going to sit there looking sad because
she didn't say nothing that whole time until they asked her a question. That baby was quiet as a mouse. She said, okay,
because it hurt. Right. And we talked about this last week. These are people's lives.
Yeah.
They don't do that. These are these babies' lives. So yeah, all of that to me is fabricated. The whole how's it going? Like, oh my God, you may talk
they have their own problems too.
Y'all talk about that for 5 minutes and then you start talking about your life and you go to the pool and you do this and you do that. Y'all sitting around in an empty ass hotel talking about what's going on in your 4-day-old marriage. Really?
Right. How's it going?
Wait. Y'all know what I'm gonna do. Not during Black History Month, Don. I
don't know why she does. I'm trying to figure out where's your T-shirt that says that.
Oh, it's coming.
Right. I need one.
I would like one.
I know. I'm gonna need one too. I'm gonna wear it all year long. But okay, so let's look at the table. So I kind of jotted down just like their catchphrases from that whole round robin thing. This is just the 4 couples, right? And y'all let me know what y'all think about this. So when they first asked Brianna's all like, and she says, he has what I need, I have what he needs. Vincent said, we're having an amazing time. And then to the camera, he says, she's super bossy. Eric says, I'm on cloud 9. Let me say it in cursive though, because
you don't have no problem. I'm high as a kite. That's what I am.
We don't have no problem.
Like I'm on cloud 9, and I'm just really glad that I did this. And
nice like this, I wish.
said, well, he's not a fan of my promiscuity in the past, and he's super Southern and super conservative, but and I'm on the opposite end, but everything else is okay. And they cut to an earlier scene where she is crying her eyes out because of some of the things they've already had a problem with, and he doesn't want her to have male friends and all this good stuff. I'm like, you just made and you trying to put your foot down. Okay, cool, whatever. So we look at Jacob and Haley. The girls look over at Haley. She looks like a deer in the headlights.
She is a deer in the headlights.
I always look like a deer in headlights. Oh, my turn. It's me. So you end up with, so the girls are like, he looks like he's really into you, and she's like, really?
Yeah,
he does.
I did not know.
She was a whole mood all by herself. She
bore me.
You know, I got another one. Haley reminds me. What is their animation? What there was the emotions.
Oh, Inside Out.
Inside Out. She the little blue girl. Yes. Is the blue girl.
Yes, she is. She is the question. She said this all the way, baby. She sure is.
Baby, because that thing be all over the place. And Jacob was like, I don't know what happened. I thought we had an amazing time. And now, her energy just shifted. I'm not really.
I had a wonderful time. Did you not?
Not sure if she had a wonderful time.
You
not going to, I don't know.
You didn't like it? Okay.
Right.
That's the little blue girl. That's what I'm gonna call her from now on. That's
her blue girl. She is sadness from Inside Out. And then
that's who she portrayed.
That's who she is. And then we had Clara that says he checks all of the boxes for me. Basically, she couldn't have built a better man, blah blah blah. And Ryan says she's easy to talk to. And so that was really to me, some of the blanketed statements. How did y'all feel about those statements?
Lies.
I would say true to a certain extent. I'm gonna say that. Let me say this. So Claire and Ryan, I think all of them really for the most part are like night and damn day. Except for Haley and Jacob. They the same type of boring. But I really think the Vincent and what's the baby name?
Brianna.
Yeah.
He don't like regiment. He don't like being rushed. He don't like that. She like, come on, bro, we gotta go. She has like a type A personality.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of needs a swift kick in the butt sometimes.
He does.
I ain't never seen no dude
take that long.
To get ready. Like, sir, what?
Well, no. She didn't say it took him a long time. She said we had 15 minutes to go, and she felt he was not far enough along in the process.
He was brushing his beard.
Okay, well, I made a note about that where I noticed that Brianna, she noticed what he did and not what she could do. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So I made a note that she said, I see areas where he is unstructured. She did not say, I see areas where I need to fall back and I'm being too anxious about.
Now let me give you some.
You know what I mean? It's
right.
It's both. It's both. And and you're on vacation on a paid reality show. Where do you have to be in 15 minutes, boo?
Girl, you know they got that call sheet and they be telling them to be somewhere by a certain time. And I believe she's one of those people.
But they got wiggle room. I am the most personality, and if y'all know that. But
really, I would have never guessed.
Never would have guessed it. Not at all. Not no notes about every scene. I wouldn't have guessed it at all.
Right. We got to think about when they did the ceremony. How many times when
that wasn't cool,
family introduced her
as bossy.
Every other word, she's bossy.
But you know that, and that was my problem with that too, because they set the tone for him to start looking for things to start nitpicking against. Because if you have a person that is kind of a, you know, they go by the book, they do things, you know, at a certain time, and they're used to being, you know, early instead of, you know, on time, all that type of things. Those are things that you could talk about. But when your family sets you up for failure by saying she's bossy, but she's bossy, she's this, but she's bossy, and I'm like, the thing that we have to stop doing, especially for Black women, stop calling women bossy.
Yeah.
She's type A. I'd rather you had said she's type A and she's just used to going. We would like to see someone who can slow her down. Yeah. That would be a better way to present the fact that she does, you know, right. And she's an engineer.
Family did not present.
Yeah, but typically when you have a STEM type of career, my youngest, it'll get done when it get done. That's how my oldest, he's a computer science. I gotta get this done. I got a deadline. I ain't got time for this. What you need? No, I ain't got time. I'm finna do this. It's a different type of ball game when it comes to that. So no, I hate that they did paint that picture. White women can be just as bossy. You are correct,
Sarita. You gotta give him more than them
can be just as bossy. You are correct.
I mean, like, it's not, you know, y'all not doing opening prayer at church. He can have a little bit more, and that's coming from me, who, like, we have to start on time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been in charge of people's weddings for 15, 20 years. The only thing, but here's what I learned though. But when I watched this show, I also remembered that these kids are young enough to be my babies. That's what, and so I watched them in that vein. But for me, like, there's a give and take. For me, when I'm doing somebody's wedding, the ceremony will absolutely start on time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There is nothing. We will start, because if that happens on time, I've got enough wiggle room everywhere else. And I think, and that's what I made a note about Brianna. Brianna will get there.
Yeah.
She will get there. I appreciate Vincent taking her to the side off camera.
Yeah.
And saying, hey boo, you're pushing a little bit. I don't like the word when he said, I don't like her being I don't think he said aggressive.
He said aggressive.
He said aggressive. I think that particular word choice was not the best, but I understood what he meant with that.
Yeah.
But she will get there. She'll get there.
Did you see how she was kind of crushed too when he talked to her?
Crushed about that, but she'll get there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that was the thing. So that tells me, because she was crushed and she didn't come back at him like, well, I don't like the way you tie your shoes. That tells me that she has the capacity to make the little adjustments that she would need to make.
They'll be fine.
I think it might have been because he does not seem like he's impatient with her and he's not angry with her. But at times it was the delivery.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can have the best intention and you don't mean anything by it.
Right.
But when you're just steadily coming at a person, that does become annoying, and he may have felt like you're being too aggressive in that moment. So I don't think that he feels like overall she's aggressive.
Right.
That when she wants something, she wants it, and he's not going to allow her to be on top of him like that all the time.
And that's why wording is important. Go ahead.
You have to give some people a little more time to process certain situations.
Right.
And them never having been on camera constantly, married to this individual, that's a lot of stuff to process in your head. And then you still trying to go about your daily routine. You're trying to brush your teeth, wash your face. You know what I'm saying? And you got somebody constantly, well, when you going to do this? Well, what you doing here? Well, where we going here? And why we doing, so you got to allow for somebody to be able to breathe and process in their own time instead of you trying to push the situation where you want to go.
And like I said, for me, that comes with experience and time.
True.
Somebody just said she's an engineer, so she is wired. I have dated one engineer in my life, and I could never do it again because he was so monotone. I could not do it. I was like 24 years old. But yeah, like he has to understand that she's an engineer, but she also has to understand that she's an engineer.
Right.
And she has to back up and say, this is not one of my projects.
Right.
And this is my husband. He is.
And let me say this. Yeah. Let me say this. I do like the fact that she came back and was like, you know what? There should never be a situation where you're afraid to tell me about me. And
I love that.
Where I'm afraid to say what I need to say to you because we're in this together. Yes. So we're a team. And so what we need to do is we definitely need to make sure that we keep the lines of communication open because if it's something that I don't like, I'm going to say it. And if it's something you don't like, you need to be able to say it and it not be a problem.
Right.
And so I like that she was open and receptive. She was upset because of the delivery of what he said, but she understood where he was coming from. So I do like that. And that shows she's willing to grow. Let me also say this while we're talking about careers. We were talking about Ryan just a few minutes ago. Ryan is a project manager. I just want to put that out there now.
Project managers are the same. Scrum masters, project managers, quality. People who work in quality are like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, teachers
who work
in that work in the classroom. Farmer. Don't say farmer, but anybody that worked in the classroom. My husband is a computer guy, so anybody that has to check boxes to get through their day, they're just automatically like that.
And what they will do is give you boxes to check as though you're part of the crew, and you be like, I don't remember when they gave me a paycheck, so I'm gonna need you tonight.
Yeah.
I definitely.
So you got to understand who you're dealing with, and also give them a little bit of grace. And sometimes you have to just remind them that you're not at work. And
is it just me, or does it feel like production is putting so much more pressure? Like looking from the background, like they putting so much pressure on them this season. I guess because there's not a lot to do, and of course this was during the pandemic when it was in this heightened space. So I feel like production need to back off a little bit.
I think what happened is production got bored and was like, you know what?
Right, y'all not doing nothing.
Yeah, I think that, and this is where, with any reality show, but there's something about this season.
Yes,
it's really reminding me that's like these are people's lives.
Yeah,
it's a little different than watching, Housewives of Atlanta or Salt Lake City. Mm-hmm. There's something about, and I think because they're so young, and we discuss things, offline. I'm an empath.
Yeah.
And so I'm like feeling for these babies. I'm like, to me, they are babies. They're they're young enough to be my children. Right. Almost all of them, not all of them. Some of them we went to high school. I went to high school.
Talk about the youngins.
But yeah, I'm like, stop pushing buttons for the sake of people's lives.
Right.
Wait. I had one funny thing. I thought it was funny.
It's probably.
But y'all know, I think things are funny that other people don't think are funny. But, just a note for all of us, Married at First Sight, the MAFS fans, you can always skip to the 6.5 minute mark. Like if you're watching it after the fact, if you watch it the next day, just skip to 6.5 minutes because the first 6.5 is Pastor Cal and a whole bunch of talk. So
no,
I need another narrator.
Until like 6.5 minutes, I'm like, you can skip all the rigmarole and oh my God, they're strangers. We already know that. Right? Come on now, like stop saying
What's season 12? If you don't know by now, you're not gonna know.
Right. At this point, you gotta start saying, y'all waste 6 minutes of my life with this.
6 minutes of a recap.
Yeah, recap because
I recap for 2 hours with people the week before. Like, what are you doing? I don't need to pass it out.
Look,
You already paired people that don't need to be there, a la Chris.
girl, let me give you. I wish I could go down every season and talk about this. Okay, so let's finish up this particular scenes because at the end of everybody giving their pretty much assessment, saying, you know, I guess this was a great idea to get married. Everybody got finished and they go, Paige.
Right.
Like that.
Like,
I'm Team Paige because I need Paige to do better. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm Team
everybody done dropped Paige. I keep reading everybody, and they talking about they're gonna leave her alone because she ain't learned.
She's stupid at this point.
We 4 days in.
4 days.
She's naive.
Yeah. I don't feel bad for her no more because she let them do that at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think Tamika has something to say about this.
15 years, so y'all better leave her alone on day 4, and y'all asses old.
Wait, this look on her face. Go on, say it. Go on, say it.
I think Tamika has something to say about Paige at this point. Go on, boo.
Come on, girl.
So here it is. Okay, I'm finna offend some folks.
How can you not be Team Paige? Oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
No, she's 26.
I know with some people on here who love them some Jesus, and I get it. I grew up in church too. But
I think she could
go me to the place in the Bible where it tells you to be stupid. The Bible don't tell you to be stupid. The Bible don't tell you to bend over and just take whatever. It don't tell you that.
Maybe in Song of Solomon.
So for
oh my God.
But anyway, go ahead.
We're in time out right now.
This one,
they understand what you just
said. Take it.
But think about it. This man basically told her, first of all, you ain't even cute enough for me. Right. When he aesthetically challenged his damn self.
That.
Okay. You don't come and tell me, well, like 20 minutes before I met you, I was engaged to somebody else, but we're going to go ahead and see what this happens, even though you ain't cute.
Right.
Like,
hey, but you know what?
Now you got a baby on the way, and now I got to play bonus mom to this baby.
So, let me go here. Wait a minute, real quick. He didn't tell that girl he wasn't attracted to her till after he hit it 2 times.
Exactly.
Right.
But he said it tonight. He did it that morning and was trying to get it again until something else happened.
So them folks showed up at the hotel. Keep going.
Right. You want to sit here and you want to keep saying, well, God, you know, this is a covenant and this is this and this and that. When you show, from what I was told, because, you know, I used to go to church all the time too. When you pray and you ask God to reveal things to you and he show you, he don't keep telling you to stop, keep going back into that den. You the exit, it be in big bold letters, emblazoned, bitch run.
Right now, I got 2 things. Now, Faith, one thing, he never told Faith. I mean, he never told Paige. But he said it. So, so that's one thing. I'm just saying. He expressed to the camera that he did not think, and we now know that those were some of her sisters and her sisters that he said that to, and they did not take it back to her. That's one thing. The other part is I'm totally in agreement with what Tamika just said. My pastor preached a couple of weeks ago. He said, you want to cry to God when it don't go right. God help, God help. He was like, but were you there? Did you ask him, were you supposed to get into this? And so when Paige is like, hey, you know, and here's my little blurb on Paige. I am Team Paige. I am, but boo, you need a little bit more self-esteem.
Yes.
I want to know what kind of pipe he got, because since he been hitting that, it's your religion, and that
I want Paige to know that, you know, and for, you know, and for people, we've talked about this. We talk about universe and God and all that. And so whatever there is, there's a center. Wherever your blessing comes from, it does not come with strife.
Exactly.
God does not give you a blessing, especially the blessing of a husband that is going to come with that much strife. And that is what I would, and of course, they did this a few months ago, but I wish I could, just be with Paige and be like, boo, come on now. You're worth more than what he's given you.
If he told me, first of all, I have a problem with sleeping with the person I just met. I do have an
entanglement.
Right. I have a problem with that. We just met. We ain't getting it. I'm not finna hit this. I need to know a little bit more about you for this go down. So that's first of all. But she did what she did. When that man said, I'm freaking out because I ain't attracted to you. That was your exit. That was your exit.
Maybe bags.
But he aesthetically challenged, Joe. That man, what he
correct. So she should have left. I'm just saying, at that point, she should have left. She was committed to the process. But when that man said, I'm not attracted to you, that was my exit right there. I'm done. Okay.
But you have to understand the way that Paige was raised. Has a lot to do with how she responds and reacts to certain words, certain phrases, and certain everything. In her mind, she is honoring her vows, even though he's not honoring his vows.
He plays her like a fiddle.
And he knows this. He knows that spirituality is what really galvanizes her to want to really work.
He's a preacher's kid, so.
Right. And he knows how to manipulate the situation so that it will seem like he's doing just enough to keep her where she needs to be, and that she needs to just be understanding to where he is. Think about, he comes from a toxic relationship. Look at his mammy. Anyway, and
and his pappy.
No. Let's stop. You know what? It wasn't no good, but we're gonna talk about that mammy, because anytime, let me tell you something. Let me find out that somebody's mammy come up to my child to say maybe he was drunk, the reason why y'all had the relations. I'm coming for the wig, baby.
But the comment about her body, I still ain't got over that yet.
Oh yeah, the comment about the body was terrible. As a woman, you do not excuse that type of behavior, even when it's your son. And so that's where I hold the contempt for is that. Because
I'm not too quick
like all on her too, like, look at that booty. His daddy was very inappropriate at the wedding.
Very much.
Like he was finna stop her right on up.
Right, wait a minute.
He'll do it right now. She just assessed long enough.
Chris plays Paige like a fiddle because, again, he's good. He's good. Now, Chris is an F-boy. Let's be clear.
Oh, yeah.
Chris is like the F-boy of F-boys, right? So Chris knows that if he says a certain thing to Paige,
yes, he has,
and he has done it, I think maybe 3 times, right? She totally changes. She says, oh yeah, well, this is the story that God has given us. And one thing that he said tonight that Chris said, well, when was it? Night before last?
Yeah.
That what Chris said is true. Chris said that Paige handles things with grace. And she does. She does. And I applaud her for that. But when Chris says that, he's full of shit. And he's playing her. And I don't like it. And I've told y'all, like, some of us look, we go far into their social media and everything to see what's going on now. I'm one who doesn't look because I don't like spoilers. So I don't know where they are right now. I don't tell me. So
no. I don't know those spoilers. I just know the tea in the background that's going on right now because he defended himself like on Clubhouse and all these other places. He's like doubling down.
No. I'm just saying, yeah. So I'm just like, yeah. So all 3 of them are gross. So wait, what 3? And who's gross?
The mama, the daddy,
and Chris.
Daddy.
I am a mom of a 27-year-old son, and I have to watch my words in case my son ever sees this. However,
yeah, I don't think
I would not allow that to go down if it were my son. That's how I will say that. If I saw my son treating a woman in that way, I'm going to be team her.
Mm-hmm.
And then either because I know my particular son, I'm either gonna, depending on the situation, I'm either gonna be able to get in his ass or I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to be team her.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, no, that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. My son and his 4 names, he's not gonna get a pass for that.
Right.
He's not gonna get a pass for treating. I've told my son this, and I'm gonna stop talking after this. I've told my son this since he was 16. Don't ever have that woman coming back asking you the question, well, your mama didn't teach you that? What your mama tell you? I said, you're not finna embarrass me. I think you act a certain way. It's not going to be because me and your dad did not put that in you. I said, it's going to be because I said so. And he will tell you, I have told him this. Don't have a woman coming back to me talking about, oh, your mama didn't teach you blah, blah, blah. Because I'm like, yeah, if you do that, you on your own.
It's a rap, boo. It's a whole rap. Because
mama's not going to defend you in it.
People keep saying men are a direct reflection of their mothers, not their fathers, of their mothers. So you got to take
their first relationship. You're their first
relationship. What you doing to your boys when you do?
You need to understand when you're raising your children, period, you're not raising them for you.
No. Right. You putting them out here in the world.
People.
The world.
As the first relationship with your son, it is your duty to prepare him to know how to treat and love on the woman that he marries and the children that he's supposed to raise.
Right.
And
not a man.
Fathers are the first ones that little girls fall in love with.
Right.
And if you didn't have that, then that's a certain situation that you're in. Right. Even if you had an uncle, that's not your daddy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like Tamika was saying, those initial relationships, it's yeah.
Yeah, because I tell my son all the time, my son is 14. But even though he's starting to get into girls and he's relating to girls, like I'm that parent, I'm very unconventional because, baby, I run it down. I don't sugarcoat nothing from him. I talk to my son because I need him. I don't need you to go out in the street to find nothing out. I'm going to tell you. So the way that I have him deal with young ladies is the way that I want to see him treat them as they go on.
Yes.
So you gotta start him early because my son is a gentle giant, and so he's an observer. So once he decides that he likes you, he wants to show you that he cares about you. But I told him, I said, don't even get in the habit of doing that right away.
Yeah, because these
that's like she wants you to earn her, make her earn you.
There's a level of be yourself, don't not be who you are, but also just be a little cautious. Like she's saying, you don't want to make your babies overly apprehensive about relationships. You want them to give so that we don't end up with a Chris. I'm sorry. I will have this conversation with Chris's parents if they're sitting right in front of me. And we did this like 3 weeks ago on our review crew. These bracelets keep messing up that name for me.
The RC.
that review crew. I have to stop and say that. But yeah, Chris is who he was created to be. So there's one part where you're like, can you be mad at Chris? Because that's what mama, daddy, and stepmama gave him. You know what I mean? This is the roadmap that they gave him. Chris is a drama king.
Oh, God.
He is a narcissist. I believe that narcissists are made.
Yep.
That's just me. They are not born, they are made.
I think they are.
Chris is a narcissist, and now you're gonna put him on other people and then defend him. Yeah. That's all y'all. That's all y'all. That's the whole thing. And then that now goes into why, and again, Madam President, you can write this down as another topic. Black men in therapy, that's a whole other show.
Ooh, child.
That's a whole other show.
I don't have the emotional bandwidth to deal with it.
That's a whole other show. Black men need to go to therapy.
Right. Black men in therapy, writing it down.
Yeah, but Chris is full of crap.
I ain't gonna even put it all on me and all, because some of us.
Well, I mean,
here's others.
I agree.
Goes back to that first relationship that we were talking about, because if you notice, his mom has excused this behavior for far too long. So if you're raising your child and you're excusing their toxic behavior and not correcting it or not bringing them back to any, and a lot of us screw our kids up. You know what I'm saying? Just as a whole, as a community, not everybody, because but just because we put our own insecurities, we put our own thoughts, whatever our hurt, our pain, we get tired of their daddy,
or we don't ashamed if I was his mother.
All that crap, all of that. It is a direct correlation to what you're shaping your children to be.
Absolutely.
Right. So, yeah.
I think we're in a time where parents are becoming more aware of that.
I hope so.
But like I'm 49. Both of my parents are now passed away. But if I were to ask, especially my mother, like, I think that you are the reason that I'm this. She would say, absolutely not. That's your fault. You know what I mean? So I think that we have gone from it's your fault to let me take ownership of what I have imparted into my child and help them to get better and understand I'm not perfect, but I'm going to love them through this. And I think that parents and children are in a space right now. And I love that, where that kind of thing can happen. We did not see that happen with Chris and his parents. We saw how Chris was molded.
Right.
We saw how Chris was molded when his father made inappropriate sexual, remarks about a child who was old enough to be his child, a young woman who is now your daughter-in-law. And then when mama signed an excuse for him, and then the other lady, I can't figure out who the aunt. That's his aunt. Is that an aunt? And when the aunt said nothing, so you got one who's talking one way, one who's talking another way, and another one who's not calling anybody on their shit.
Just sitting, there.
That does not work. And
when he did it, did you see Paige's face?
You got to do better.
Did you see Paige's face when the father did that? Though she was just like,
yeah, she was a little scared.
Uncomfortable.
She was a little. Like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I think it scared her a little bit.
And that's a problem for me, though, because, again, those are issues that we need to really address in our community, number one. Number two, like you said, you can't keep coddling your sons, and just kids in general. But today we talking about Chris, and he's somebody's son. So we're not going to talk about.
About to be somebody's daddy.
About to be a few people daddy the way he acting.
Not a few.
But child,
and that's the scary thing. Like, that's something.
Let me break some
children. He didn't say he didn't care how he got them. He just said he wants 7 of them. He can be 7 different women. It can be not somebody like that person.
Sounds like Future to me. Okay.
I got somebody I know, Future money
directly. That has the exact same. Like, I just want a bunch of them. I don't care who have them, because I don't plan on getting married, but I want my babies. What?
Like, and that is, and it's and as much as we've talked about it, it never hit me until this moment. Oh my God, this man is about to bring a child into this world.
Yeah, baby.
With the thought process that he has, like, because I've been dealing with them. I was like, oh crap, I didn't even think about this baby who maybe in 3 years, babies learn very quickly.
They do.
But definitely in 3 years, he's going to start shaping this baby, this child, this new, being on this earth. And he has time. I'm optimistic that Chris has time to learn. But gosh, that's scary. So
but think about this though, like a lot of people don't believe in this, but I do. What you look at the way that the baby was conceived,
Yes.
Think about the baby, how the baby's being developed. Think about the mother of this child.
The angst that mama is going through.
Toxicity.
Yes.
So that's going to be innate, and that baby's going to feel all of that.
I believe that.
In order for this child to grow and develop and be the type of person that it needs to be,
I believe that. Yeah.
Quote unquote, is going to have to be a purge. It's going to have to be a purge of the mother and the father, because this baby is being baked into that.
Yeah. Yes. And you're right about that. That's again something that I wasn't considering, because the whole thing is so complex. And that's why for me, I am an advocate of trying to definitely make sure that a marriage works, that a relationship works, that you don't just give up. Oh my gosh, he's being so harsh. And, he wants me to, put down the remote, like the little stuff. But for Paige, this is really, really big. Yeah. And I'm not sure how old she is. She's got to be somewhere between
27. She's 26 and he's 27.
Okay.
They don't realize how young they are. We realize how young they are. They don't realize how young they are, and it makes me afraid for her. I really want her to cut her losses, and say, okay, what God has shown me is this is not
what I need.
What he would have for me. That's really, because there's so many nuances, like you were just saying, like there's the baby coming, and there's the fact that Chris doesn't know, and now the mom of the baby, she's going through a lot too. Like, we don't know her, but we have to care about her too. I'm a community.
The thing about it is,
so now she is.
You broke up with me,
child,
and now you married her.
What now?
I said, you got to think about this too. You broke up with me, and I'm pregnant. But 30 seconds later, you're married to her.
Hold on.
Automatically, I hate her.
She's baking. Right. She's baking a child in stress and anxiety.
Hold on.
And
pause.
What, babe?
That ain't paid. That's not the ex-fiance's baby though. That's the thing. So that's what y'all need to understand.
Wait, that right now.
He said it was his ex-fiance.
Ain't. But keep going.
I thought that ain't.
No, he specifically said.
I know what he specifically said. He was lying. Keep going.
Shut up,
girl. Stop. I can't.
He was lying. Keep going. So if y'all look, okay, so Mercedes is his ex-fiance. Her social media has been active. This happened when they shoot this in August.
They shot this around the 7th or 8th month of Married at New Orleans, and they got married in February. So this had to be shot in around September or so.
Okay.
This is
so
September.
Think about this. If you look at this girl's pictures on her social media, okay, I ain't talking about the rumor that I heard. If you look at this girl's pictures on social media, mama is not pregnant at all. She should be on her way to delivery right about now. I'm just saying, I don't, or good and pregnant at this point in junction.
Yeah, she wouldn't be delivering yet.
Not delivering, but she'd be real pregnant right now.
Be showing, yeah.
Mama is not showing at all.
May. So if this were based on what Chris said and everything, this baby would be due in May or June.
That part right there.
February.
Oh.
So she should be 6 months?
About 6 months pregnant.
So some young ladies, I didn't show until I was almost 8 months. But I was a 00. I was a 00 when I got pregnant in college, and people did not know.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know her. I haven't seen her pictures. I don't know what her body looks like.
It was shared in the groups.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about the rumor that's going around. I'm just talking about me just looking and using common sense.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Because it is a rumor going around. I don't want to talk about the rumor right this second. We'll deal with that a little later on down the line. But just me going to her social media page, looking at her posting, looking at her pictures and all this. I'm not seeing, I'm seeing I'm out here getting it and doing my thing. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
So my thing is, if I was pregnant, I ain't out here getting it and doing my thing. That's not what I'm doing.
Especially not in COVID. Not in COVID.
That's all I'm saying.
At home chilling.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, we know Atlanta been wide open though, so we can't like Atlanta has
like a lot of been traveling. So if I'm pregnant, I'm not traveling to beaches and whatnot. And COVID and Rona Jenkins is going around. I'm not doing that.
Not Rona.
You're not.
I'm not doing it.
Right. You're not. But we have to remember these babies are not even millennials. These are Gen Zers. When they're 26 years old, these babies are doing different things. They don't see it as we see it.
I got you.
She very well might be traveling somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
I know common sense ain't common, but if I'm gonna stay my ass at home.
Right, like
and not on the beach in the bikini. That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm going with this. You on the beach in the bikini, but you're pregnant. That's what I seen the pictures. No, mama not pregnant. That's just my thought process on it. He might have somebody pregnant, but I don't think it's their ex-fiance. That's all I'm gonna say.
And like you said, you may be right, but I'm just saying, like devil's advocate. You know, these kids travel, so yeah. So are we at the go-kart thing now?
So, yeah, because first of all, we're an hour and 10 minutes in, and I just want to add my last part that I was in a step show, 18, 19 weeks pregnant, didn't even know it, but anyway, and flat as a board. So
I was 20 weeks pregnant. 20 weeks pregnant in college, flat as a board. I thought I had a kidney infection.
Tell them how you
I thought I was 20 weeks pregnant to the day when I found out that I was pregnant with my son. 20 weeks is 4 months.
I didn't find out until I was 5.5 with my leg.
It was 4 months. And when I tell you my belly, and I was in college walking around the campus of my university, when I tell you my belly didn't drop until 8 months, I had nothing because I was so skinny. So, but also, you know, these kids be like, they be bad about it, right?
They do everything with reckless abandon, but we got to keep going.
Yeah, we got to go.
Yeah, we got to keep going. We got to keep going.
We want to be talking about look, I'm tired of talking about this baby or not none baby or whatever's happening.
We're done. Because I got some notes on this boondoggle.
Yes, child. So at the end of this thing, we keep hearing about Haley and Jacob having a hard time. You know, Jacob just having a hard time trying to figure out where Haley coming from. And the only thing I want to add to this is there's a such thing called the post-orgasmic hangover. And I don't know if you guys understand what that is, but here's what happens. When you first meet somebody and you have all those good, happy feelings, y'all come together and y'all have this great congress of things that go on. You are all on cloud nine, right? So y'all do it. You're looking at each other. You thinking maybe we're going to have a future together, some type of music playing in your head, like it's y'all theme song of your life. Y'all just best.
Not the
that. So that happens in the first couple of hours. Sometimes it lasts for a day or two. But what happens after that is that you come down off of that high, and that is the hangover part of the post-orgasmic hangover. So it could have been great. It could have been wonderful. But now reality slaps you smack dab in the middle of your damn face, and you're like, I got to deal with this person, and I just really wanted the sex that night. So this is my assessment of what happened between Haley and Jacob. Haley ain't been in a relationship for a long time, and she probably got the dust knocked off of that thing. Jacob probably did listen. I'm just telling you as the sexologist on this panel. Jacob, you know, he looked like he went all in and left no rock unturned. And what happened was you had the post-orgasmic hangover. She went all the way up on the high and she hit all the way back down the rock bottom and she don't know what to do. Anyway, next subject.
She just a little blue girl.
That's all.
He done blew a gasket. She done threw a rod.
Okay, but again, another show. But if they take you all the way up to the high, shouldn't you know a little bit of something about what you want to do when you come back down?
Some people don't realize that that's part of the cycle that they're in. They just go, and then you'll see those also the kind of people that say, I never connect with people. I don't really know if I connect with people sexually because of the fact that they're not quite understanding where this gamut of emotions heads from. So I think that what happens more often than not, people say the sex was bad, but a lot of times what happens was there was a connection and they didn't know what to do with it. So that's just my assessment. They don't pay me the big bucks to just be throwing around theories. But anyway.
At least not yet.
Yeah. So not yet. So okay, let's go over here because I don't want to talk no more about Chris and Paige. But we get to the album. So, this is where, so Chris and child and Paige.
Virginia and
Virginia
Haley.
and
Chris, Virginia, and Haley.
Yeah. Okay. So all of them are hanging out.
What's her name?
Who?
Not Haley. What's her name? Claire. Thank you.
Clara and
Claire. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you.
Three of the couples are hanging out. They're going ATV and all this type of stuff. And there's a conversation that's coming along. Everybody's just coming back. And so Virginia and Clara decide that this would be a great opportunity to confront Chris. See,
Karen.
About their girl Paige. Now, the thing about it is everybody's concerned about Paige because they said, she looks different. When we first got with her, she was happy, she was outgoing, she was doing all these things. Now she's withdrawn, looks like she's really not, having a great time. She just kind of by herself. And so that's where we're headed. We changed it. So that's what we're talking about right now. So they all and honestly, I feel like out of concern, they wanted to know where Chris's head was at regarding this situation because they noticed the behavioral change in Paige. And so this is where most of the issues come from. Now, Chris a couple of times said, I'd like for y'all to step back a little bit. They push a little bit more. It kind of escalates into a confrontation. Not even kind of, but it does. And then, some words get exchanged between he and Virginia. And even Clara was like, I done told that girl.
Mm-hmm.
I told her.
I'm gonna shut up now, cause
I don't know about this. This is not what I was trying to do, but it looks like this is what we're doing today. So here we are. Let's talk a little bit about this particular scene. Let's just talk about it. I can't even do frame by frame, but I'm sure Andrea got it frame by frame.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I take exception to the fact that y'all overstepped in the way where you can't just run up on a man, and then not only a man but a black man, and immediately attack dog. Like, I understand you want to get a sense of where his head is. I understand you want to try to defend her and be on her side of the field when it comes to all this mess that he has now created, but you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it was an approach. It was
like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? I thought we had already said we was gonna mind our business.
Well, and here's the thing. This is where, and we, typed earlier about the name of tonight, and it was Caucacity versus Culture.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I said I'm not a fan of that name. This is the scene why. Because to me, it wasn't about Caucasity versus culture. Because for me, one thing Chris will never do is stand for my culture. In any way, will that little young man stand for what I believe my culture is? For me, this was boundary versus coping skills. They overstepped. They overstepped their bounds. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chris initially said, "You're overstepping." He put it out there. and they kept coming, and that's where Chris showed his lack of coping skills.
And they came hard.
And then he didn't come hard.
No, I'm talking about the lady.
The ladies.
Wait, let me finish. He didn't come hard. He came purposeful and ugly. That's more than hard. He made a conscious decision that he was going to make the drive home hell for everybody. He said it out of his mouth. So to me, that is not culture, because you're saying that's how Black people handle things. That's why I said I'm not a fan of.
Well, let me tell you why I think
a particular title, but I understand. Let me be clear, as Obama would say. Let me be clear.
Let me be clear.
But let me be clear. I do completely understand him backing them off him. I'm totally with him there. I'm not for the word culture and how he did that. Again, I look at all of their babies. To me, they are. I want the best for them. This is how they communicate. I have a son exactly that age. I have watched my son communicate with women in ways that we did not teach him. Right. His college-educated mama and daddy, his college-educated self did not teach him to communicate with women, but how it came to him, and then he had to make his way back around to this is not how I want to be. I'm gonna go back to what my mama and daddy taught me. So I see it in a way where Chris did not have coping skills. When Chris goes off, and then he showed it at dinner. When Eric and Virginia came to dinner, and again, they were late. So that totally threw everything off. They were late. He had made his apology. It should have been over with. It should have been over with at that time. But they missed it. But they came guns blazing. So they had been in their room already talking about how we going to come at Chris.
Smoking that stuff.
Because Eric should come at Chris about how he was talking to his wife first. They was out on them doom buggies.
Yeah.
And Eric didn't realize that he, missed that mark. So Eric was trying to come late, trying to puff his chest out. But Chris also should have left it alone. Then Chris said, no, I'm going to let him say what he says. Chris does not have coping skills.
Well, he doesn't. And I agree with that. But let me say this.
Okay.
When it's a us versus them, and I'm not trying to make this a us versus them.
I'm here. Yeah.
But sometimes white people decide they're going to continue to poke.
And they should have.
And then when we poke back, it's, oh my God, I can't believe. No, Helfer, this is what you wanted. This is what you asked for. You see what I'm saying? So,
but see, I agree with that, but you have to remember how young they are.
But
this situation was not about race. This situation was about age.
I'm sorry. I can't really go with that because, you're young. But you old enough to know better, and you old enough to know when to shut your damn mouth. You are learning how to mind the business that pays you. When that man told you to mind your business and to let him handle his situation, you need to shut all of that down.
Right. I told you before we even had this conversation.
Learn how to shut your hell up.
Look, but let me also add, and she'll pop back in a minute. But the reason why we got that, and I wanted to get into this, the reason why this particular title was called that, why I went with the title.
Karen's always got something to say.
Well, it's also because I wanted to talk about the narrative around it. We know Chris ain't shit.
Sorry about that. My computer pops out about every 45 minutes. I'm sorry.
That's all right. We got you back. We know Chris ain't shit.
Ain't shit.
That is your constant. That is your control right there.
Chris is who his parents made him.
Right. But we know
that shit.
What I wanted to talk about, what I saw was different from, the age thing, because Eric's ass is 33.
Yep.
But what I did see was the problem that I had was even when the argument was against the two women, and then Eric stepped over, the first thing he comes and he says, and I've seen this a lot of times when there's a angry black guy, they always go, relax,
calm down,
relax, calm down, all this type of stuff. So to me, there are trigger words that they've been used to using in order to incite a certain type of behavior. You already know this is an easy poke,
and they got that reaction. And
but also that is for me as it relates. I compartmentalize. I don't make it like a holistic. This is how people act. I'm looking at Eric and Virginia. Virginia is a stronger personality than Eric. I think in that moment, like if any, and again, we say things and I say, I wager to say, we have all been in a situation where your guy starts rubbing you on your back. You know what I mean? When you popping off or something, or he touches you on your back and he doesn't say anything to you. And you know, that means, okay, babe, bring it down, bring it down. Eric does not know to do that with Virginia.
But Eric also has an issue with just things should be that way because that's how my mama was. So that's
true.
Eric doesn't.
No, he's conservative South. But he doesn't
have the discrimination to walk into a situation and say, maybe this is already, the temperature's getting too high here, and maybe it's my job to grab this woman I've decided is my wife. And hell, we on a second wife at this point. And let me drag her away and go, excuse me, y'all, let's have a conversation to the side. That could have been a good diffusing. But let's look at his ass real.
No, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't know to do that. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't know
but if he doesn't know to do that, but also let's look at the fact that you're dealing with people who just don't know how to deal with situations. Period. Well, because it was everyone's responsibility to walk away. But what
4 days in
stood there with them church hands. Wow.
Clara was the only one that stopped talking.
Right. But that's
Clara knew what was up.
But Clara has dealt with black people before. That's number one. Clara has dealt with black men before. Clara also has a certain thing about herself that she kept saying, I don't know why Virginia is going on. I wish she would stop.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. She had her back up until a point where Virginia kept pushing. As you see this right here with them church hands. He over there looking like, I'm not even sure what to do. And like you said, he had to ruminate for a couple of hours with a couple of shots of whatever in the Miller Lite and all these things.
He got that liquid
courage together so that he could say something. So my thing is not necessarily that the women were, and like I said, I think they did come out of concern, but we also have to acknowledge the cultural differences that we would have acknowledged as black women, as just people, right? We see that someone's obviously becoming agitated. Usually, especially in a setting like this, you're going to kind of walk away from that. Like, you know what? You ain't shit, but you ain't my husband either. And we'll be done with it. Whereas they have the privilege to keep pushing because they know that anybody that's behind the scenes will probably step in to save them.
To diffuse the situation.
You have to acknowledge that. And then we're going to roll that conversation into that damn dinner.
All right, come on, dinner.
And let's just say also with the thing with the that ride back. Now, Chris, I don't know why he decided to do that. That was really dumb. But you know, where he decided to try to pop off, and then what did you see with Paige? Let me pull this one right here. You know, everybody come talking to Paige, like, Paige, you know, we was trying to talk on your behalf and all this stuff. And that's the other thing they do. They like to divide and conquer. And like I said, it's not necessarily saying that this is a white woman situation, but it kind of is, because this is the type of behaviors that we'll see a lot of times. And this isn't a being against anyone, but this is recognizing, acknowledging. You have to acknowledge the behavior that's in front of you. So you see Paige's face. Paige wasn't with the shit that day. She was tired. They probably had already had words in that damn dune buggy, and he almost flipped it over, some shit like that. She ain't got nothing to drink. She looked like, I'm ready to go. What time my plane leaves?
Tired.
I'm tired of him, and I'm tired of y'all. I don't want to do this anymore. This body language tells me I don't even want to be here at this point, but I said I was going to do it, so I'm here.
Yeah,
So
right there was when Virginia and Clara.
Yeah.
This is to me where they went into their Karenism. Once everything went down over by the Doom Buggies.
Right.
When Chris shut it down. And then you saw at one point, Bad Haircut, what's his name? Ryan came around. So Ryan came late to the party, it seems, because I don't think Ryan would let Clara go off like that.
Right.
And then, Eric just stood there. So once they got back over to Paige, the only thing they should have said to Paige was, I'm so sorry that we just got into it with your husband. I apologize. And they should have gotten their behinds on the truck. But they started talking to her and just like going in. And that gave Chris the opportunity to come in and continue his assholean ways.
Yep. Not assholean. I want that on a t-shirt.
Oh, when you have a t-shirt, I don't have my assholean t-shirt.
Assholean ways. In fact, I need that.
No, it's on my Etsy shop.
Assholean way.
It's in my Etsy shop.
Girl, just go ahead and post the link.
Right, real quick.
And so that was the thing. Yeah, I understand all of those things, but definitely for us, we have to understand and acknowledge that regardless, when we even don't want to acknowledge it, culture plays a part in how we deal with situations. Now, like you said, he definitely don't speak for the culture.
No,
absolutely does not. But we have to acknowledge that if that was a different set of women, had they been a little bit heavily melanated, it would not have gone that way.
Absolutely not. It wouldn't have.
So, and that was why I wanted you to. That's why I wanted to really kind of hone in on that particular part, because of the fact that first of all, we wouldn't get that opportunity, because I do also believe that homegirls be like, yeah, I got it from here. I got it.
Yeah, because
I don't need. They were at dinner. We saw it go a different way because Vincent
put to speak for me, and I feel like even though she's handling everything with grace, I feel that she gives them too much leeway, because all you got to do is shut it down.
Too much.
It's okay. I thank you because you're concerned, but I don't need you to run my business for me.
Yeah,
that's my husband. This is my situation.
Yep.
If I feel like I need to tag you in, I will. But as long as I don't tag you in, stay over there with your husband and teach him how to take them shots.
Right.
Well, whatever.
He saw there's some greasy food in his system if he gonna be drinking like this.
So I don't feel like it's ageism, and I don't feel like it's one of those situations where it's like, well, we just got to give them a pass. No, absolutely not. You don't, because at any age, right from wrong, and you know how to shut what they call the hell up, and that's just what they should have done.
Yeah. So let's go over here. So this rolls into, they get into an argument on the bus, and we all know how that worked. It really almost got physical. It looked like it looked like it would have gotten physical, but we all know that it probably wasn't going to get physical. I just don't believe Chris is a fighter. But anyway, I think if Paige would have said that, they would have backed off. But Paige don't have the capacity to say that.
Still trying to process. She is definitely still trying to process all that has happened, and she just don't have the energy left to keep going back and forth with
these
9 other people.
Yeah, about her situation.
She don't have it. The baby
is actually trying to make it work, which is what is sad.
Yeah, and
so
but the thing also
enough to not say anything that's going to mess up anything. Should she want to make it work? And that's sad. That's why she sits on and she's holding on to everything, and Chris is holding on to nothing.
Right. And that's the thing, is that she's really, I would say she's very much committed to the process.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think her thing is just let's wait and see. She's in a wait and see holding pattern. And I really don't have a problem with that. Like I said, 4 days in, like I don't even have a problem with her choosing to engage in sexual activities, your body, your rules. But my thing is go in it with the knowledge that this is what it is, exactly how it is and what it is, the way it's being presented to you, so that you don't get hit anymore with any you don't get blindsided with anything else. So that is what I'm child. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, let's get to this dinner. So it seems like the temperature came all the way back down. Everybody went back to zero base. And so they, you see Eric and not Eric, what's the boy's name? You see Jacob and Haley's at the table. You see that what is their names? Let me pull these names up.
Ryan and Claire,
Vincent, and Brianna are there. So it looks like those three, they're just kind of like, hey, it's our last night in town. Let's make the most of it. How was y'all day? Because all of them didn't go together on their outings, but everybody did go somewhere and do something. And so you see that Chris and Paige walks in, and you can kind of see that the tension starts to rise a little bit. Everybody's like, oh shit, they showed up. Damn.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. You can always tell. Has anybody else noticed that the music and the tone
is
like
completely?
Yeah, they was all just like.
Is it slow motion? Is it me, or do they walk in slow motion?
No, it changes and it becomes very slow and tense and terse.
Mm-hmm. So that the drama is about to happen, and you hear like
They're
that,
it up.
like music that's letting shit today. Okay, all right. So we see them walk in, but surprisingly, we see that Chris starts with his, everybody's talking. I think Paige says something.
Chris
comes with a public apology, not only to
not genuine.
Well, I didn't say that. I just said public apology.
No, me. I don't trust Chris. I don't trust his apology. So
that part there.
So, you probably believe what he's saying in their moment. But outside it is.
Well, he's his biggest cheerleader. He is his biggest cheerleader.
Right. Chris is his biggest cheerleader.
In that moment. It may not fit, but right now that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. Right. You rolled them tape back a couple of episodes and you could tell he lying.
Yeah. Chris likes to lie. Like Chris get paid to lie. I feel like they go, you know what? What truth are you gonna tell them to say this? And they go, not that. Okay, okay, got you. So like I feel like that's what he does. And the thing about it is I kind of feel sad for Chris is because it's that whole narcissist thing. Like he really believes he is as great as he thinks he is.
Oh yeah, he
really believes that, and nobody has ever told him no, and nobody has ever given him the truth about himself. So that's where the sympathy, that's it. You better say something.
The money that he makes, you gotta think about it. He pull in girls because of the money that he makes.
The money that he's perceived to make.
Exactly. But from what he says, he owns a few businesses as well as he trades on the stock market, and he did well from what he says. Right. So according to him, I'm used to having video hoes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it sounds like.
And really, that's what it all boils down to. He keeps presenting one way, but like his actions and his words never line up. No. And that's the thing. Like he says he wants a certain type of woman, but he's not attracted to that kind of a woman. Because she didn't come.
Right. He's attached to the video hoe. He's attached to the Instagram model.
And let's just say, let me go back to when they were talking about
they don't have the house on the stereotypical.
Yeah. Let's go back to talk about when they said, let's what you bring into the house, and she starts to talk about, I'm gonna bring some of the gifts that my friends and family brought us for the wedding.
The money.
And that thing said, if it's cash, we got to split it 50-50. And she was just like, what? But we married.
Martell
Oh,
Hope.
hold on. Let's go here.
You say that
Marcel.
Let's go here.
What's his name?
Don't count.
Marcel Hope.
M-A-R-C-E-L.
Okay. Marcel Hope.
Okay. So let's also
Marcel
talk about
Hope.
the fact that they were talking about accounts. And
Right.
like, you know, I think we should have a joint account
And
for
he
the
said
house.
no.
That man said, I really don't think we should do that.
But
But you want 50% of this win money.
That man
Right.
planning his exit because his whole thing is, hold on, you got 25 cents, but I got this $5 over here.
Right.
So my $5,
and I
that's
want 15 of your
25
cents.
and
I
when
need
I
half
feel
of
like I
your,
wanna
I
give
need
you another
13, I need 12 and a half of your 25 cents because that's what we're going to split.
Yep.
Exactly.
And that's the
mine,
problem.
and we'll play with yours. But
And
don't ask me for mine.
And
that was the thing
again,
that I found interesting about him because even when they talked about, and she said something like, I make about a third of what you make, and he goes, a fourth.
not even that.
Right, rude.
Not even that. Boo,
Listen, I'm
you ain't got no money. You in debt. Let me tell you what. As an over 40 woman, I'm gonna tell you what I see when I see a man roll up in anything more than a Buick Enclave. I see that you were underwater. If you have a Mercedes, I automatically think that you were underwater because anybody can pay $299, $350 on a Mercedes note that you got on the Christmas special. But I was walking into my house last night.
wow.
Last night.
Last evening.
The evening of last. And I heard a squeal. You know what I mean? Like you hear like brake squeal, and I'm like walking into my house. You know, you turn around, right? And you turn around, beautiful white Mercedes with brake squealing. Because boo, you can afford the note, but you can't afford the car.
Maintenance.
You can't afford the lifestyle. And so that's what Chris is to me. Like he can afford the life, but he can't afford the lifestyle.
Right.
He can't afford $1,200 tires when all of his tires need to be changed at the same time. So
say it again. Say that.
So he expects these women to be like coming after him. And Paige is a woman that if he met in the club, if he had met her in the club like Woody and Amani met, you know, just randomly, Paige would not have been all on his jock, as they say. You know, she would be all after him. She would not have done that, but that's what he is accustomed to. So no, sweetheart, no, you don't actually have a lot of money. You have debt. Some of it is good debt.
Right.
You have debt.
And that's all that it is. It's all about
that comes with age, knowing that, okay, I'm going to be with you in this debt as we move along to do bigger things. But boo, you got debt. So no, and so that's but they're baby.
That needs to be like another one of my little buttons here, like the you got mail, you've got debt.
You got it. Oh wait, that's another t-shirt. Let me write that down.
That should be a t-shirt.
I'm getting us the other t-shirt. So
yeah, with the AOL sign, you've got debt. But anyway,
debt, boo. Thank you, Wendy.
Yes.
Thank you, Wendy.
So let's go back. So we had to hop over there. So let's go back over here and talk about this dinner that didn't happen. And just let y'all know we are an hour and 42 minutes in, and even with the checklist, we can't get it together. But anyway,
we're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there. We almost at the end.
Everything is so loaded.
It does. You know how people cut this down in an hour?
I don't know how they do it.
Anyway, let's see. We see that Chris, you know, like we said, he's walking in. He's apologizing for, you know, his behavior. Paige, you know, lets everybody know she appreciates, you know, everyone. He kind of, you know, lets folks know that he appreciates his wife, and you know. He apologizes also to Clara and Ryan, which I found interesting that he mostly apologized to Ryan, but not necessarily Clara. It was like, I'm sorry that I talked crazy to your wife. And but it really wasn't a direct apology to her because they were the ones that really actually had the falling out. But anyway, they decided, they were saying, well, we still support you and all these types of things. Everything got heat. I think everybody was at the point where they diffused it. Now, the binging couple, I don't know what they own, baby.
They own everything. They own it all. The powder, the sugar.
Say yes.
They on that booger sugar.
They own all of it together.
They smoked a little
Who
crack.
said the booger sugar? Wait, what?
They on that booger sugar.
They own all of it.
We have to learn to not talk over each other like they do on The View.
But it's fun.
But I think Tamika
have fun.
sugar.
They come in. Y'all gotta be coughing. They come in, and you can already see that they already hyped up on whatever.
Yeah.
And they're late.
They're definitely hyped up.
Right. And you can tell they probably had a little mid-morning huddle, and they over there, okay, you gonna be over here, then I'm gonna say this, and then we deduce the hazard, and we're gonna do all this stuff. Like they got it together. Right. They got it mapped out on the wall somewhere. And so they sit down, and the first thing, Eric comes in with his late ass and all of a sudden want to establish dominance. Sir, you don't have it. Okay. All right. So
he tried to establish.
He comes in ready to kind of pick a fight. Well, I just want to let you know, I ain't gonna let you talk to my wife like that. And I'm like, but you did. But anyway,
it happened.
You've already told me like that.
You were standing there with them church hands while he was.
Let's be clear. It would have never happened. But had Brianna been the one to go at Chris like that, and Vincent was there, and Chris was talking to Brianna like that, that would have been a whole different story.
That would have been shut down.
That would have been a whole different story. So, so for Eric to come in after the fact, oh, you never gonna talk to her like that. Somebody said that in his ear. Either Virginia said that in his ear later, or he just kind of took stock of himself.
That Vodka said that in his ear.
My wife, any kind of way.
The cocktail that he had.
You would not have, you notice he did not talk to Clara that way.
No,
he did not talk to Clara that way.
Nope.
He would never have talked to Brianna that way.
Nope.
So yeah,
you wouldn't have talked to Haley that way. Chris
knows his boundaries. Abusers know their boundaries.
I got my hand.
The floor would like to recognize Sister Tamika.
Look at this, but look at this while y'all talking, Molly.
This is what I need to figure out. I mean, this is what I need y'all to hear. So,
oh Lord, Wendy,
went down the line.
Did you realize? I feel that she told him, when we get over here, I'm gonna need you to open your mouth, because think about this.
Yeah, somebody
told me my brother's friends, or my father had been here, this would have went a totally different way. But I feel like she the one who went and told him, you know what? I'm gonna need you to open your mouth, because when you get home, I'm gonna have my daddy, my brothers, and their friends beat your ass for not defending you.
But let's be clear. Had her brothers or her daddy come against Chris, they would not have won. Let's be clear. I understand what she was saying, and I agree with her that her brothers and her dads would have come to her defense. Absolutely, as they should have. Eric should have been on Chris's ass about that, but he did not. But because if your brothers had come at Chris, we wouldn't even it would be no more show.
It'd be a different show. And
no more show. I get that, but what I'm saying is,
would not have won against Chris and whatever he had coming after
in his ear, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he didn't throw his phone.
Yeah, agreed
on that. Absolutely.
Let me also say this though. She also probably told him, "You want some more? You want any more of this good today?
Baby, right?
This good
and this booger sugar.
Your own room."
And so go take this shot of Fireball and let's go downstairs and handle the business.
Is you want some more or not, boy? So if you gonna get some more of this whole round, What you gonna do is
Go down here and tell y'all.
and he said, you know what?
I like the kitty, so let me go on down here.
This meal. So
Why y'all showing out in front of company? Cut that out.
that's what happened. That conversation took place.
It did, but I don't understand where my horn is though. My horn was like right there.
Oh, I'm sorry. The horn. That's what he said. If you want any more of this,
He did. You know what? I'm not mad at her. You need to defend all of you. That's a part of me, but I do believe that either she went back. Either she went back and said, you need to defend, or he took stock of himself.
Yeah, I think
you know, like he was taking a shower and was like, dang, I didn't defend my woman.
And
you
she
know,
was standing in the shower right next to him.
So hard at dinner. He came so hard at dinner because he knew, and this is a whole other conversation.
See, that's
he was a simp. He was a simp. That's my definition of simp.
Okay.
He was my definition of simp when this went down. Like the whole taking care of your woman, all of that that's going out on social media right now. I don't understand. That's not a simp to me. Simp was how Eric let Chris to his woman. That's a simp.
And one last thing.
Yes, ma'am.
While he was standing in the shower, she was in the shower with him. See, this. Let me explain this to you.
Oh, how did it go down?
Like that, it went down in the shower. So what had happened was
we need to go because we already gonna be together at 2:00 in the morning, so we gotta go.
I know we're an hour and 50 in, but while he was
Don't say she was on the knees in that shower.
Like, listen, let me explain something to you. Let me do something for you here. This is probably some non-conservative shit that you're on right now, sir. And so what happens is because y'all, Eric been turned out.
Oh yeah.
Baby, he been turned every which way but right.
Every way.
Like, y'all gotta understand this is the best week of his life. And when you are again post-orgasmic hangover, right? So we're within probably a couple of hours or minutes, knowing them, of whatever happened in the shower, because they looked like they were fresh out the shower. They looked like their hair hadn't been.
They had that dewy, it wasn't dry.
Real dewy looking. So, you know, he up on that high. You got that oxytocin and vasopressin. So here's again, this is me being the sexologist. Oh, so when men ejaculate, there are a lot of different hormones that are into the blood.
Wait, you back?
Look, she back now. And so one of the things that mixes is oxytocin, which is your bonding hormone. So you know when you have oxytocin, you feel that warm, cuddly feeling. You want to hug everybody, you want to make the eye contact and everything. That's the touchy-feely hormone. That's the bonding hormone. But then it also mixes with vasopressin, and vasopressin is the protection hormone.
Girl, teach the people. Okay,
girl, I'm trying to tell y'all something. Look, this is just textbook, and so. When you saw him walking in there, he felt the protection because look, she done drained that thing. And so all these hormones flooding through it. Like, you know what? That was a bad idea for me to not protect my woman. I'm finna go protect my woman. And all of them hormones told him, along with that liquid courage, to go and start some shit that night.
Are you kidding me? Do you have when got her notepad and her pen?
That's what I'm saying. If you ever notice when it's real good, and like when you've had those good, like if both of y'all have had mutual orgasms, like he's not only did he have a good orgasm, but he had one of the really strong ejaculations, right? And if you ever notice, like, you know what? I'm gonna give you some dinner. I'm gonna make sure. Care. Let me go and fix the doorknobs.
What happened? What Jasmine Sullivan say? He made me pancakes in the morning. Yes.
Pancakes in the morning. That is the protection hormone vasopressin taking over the blood.
Wait, I'm sorry, vasopressin, is that like the herb vasopressin?
That fool said, "Is that like the herb?" I cannot.
Now here's the thing about vasopressin. You got to have enough of that through your system during the due, because that's also the what suppresses bladder from taking over during sexual activity. So that's actually why you don't have men that pee in you, because they have the vasopressin that keeps that. Next subject.
Oh, Jesus.
She said, look, she said, is that like the herb?
Right. Smell that.
You made me peel out the look, girl.
That's why you get your fans, baby. $1 fan.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God.
So anyway, that's what Eric was high off of all that stuff and vasopressin, because he said, I got to protect my. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to protect my.
Right there.
That's what all that he was hyped up, baby.
I'm not fooling with y'all. I can't.
I love y'all. Oh my God, I swear.
So that's what had happened. Anyway, as we proceed into this conversation,
shall I proceed?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
I'm just seeing how black we are.
Look at that.
Now it's in my head. I'm like,
That's why we can't get nothing done in 2 hours.
No, this is the whole problem, right? Us.
This is the problem.
This is the problem. Like everybody is gonna log on, because we have officially gone off the deep end right now.
Yeah, that way.
But it's so good. It's so good. And when we hang up, we're gonna be on for another 2 hours. So
yeah. So okay.
My child gave me you on my computer too long. Keep going.
Okay, so here's the thing. You got him coming in, and the first thing he started talking about was, can't talk to my wife like that again. And he gets into this, get ready to go into this rant, and Ryan steps in and goes, hold on, wait a minute.
Yep.
They did not
apologize. We didn't talk about this.
Yeah, and so that's why, he kind of tried to handle it. And I do commend Ryan for that kind of stepping in, like, bro, we already went over this. What y'all missed was that there was an apology extended. And so therefore, we're kind of squashing it. We want to move on. But then your boy, Mr. Post Orgasmic over there, was like,
with the Kanye West. I'm gonna let you finish.
He was like, Mr. Vasopressin over there was saying, I just didn't know if you were gonna snap and you were scaring everybody and all this kind of stuff. And then that's when it really started to go left, because again, talking about that narrative of it could have just stopped at I didn't like the way you were talking to my wife, and what all that stuff that goes along with it. But adding in, you were scary. I didn't know whether you were gonna pop off. You look crazy. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's where Eric went into
the black man thing.
The chest.
Yo, that is your skin is the weapon.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I took that. You're a black man and you raising your voice. Even though we all in your business and we need to go over here and settle our own shit.
Wendy is cracking me up.
So you can't raise your voice. You can't.
To me, it was that, some, but it was more of the masculine thing, no matter the race. To me, Eric realized that he simped out earlier in the day, and that he had Haley and Jacob.
That right there.
Had Jacob tried to go off on Virginia in that way earlier, Eric would have tried to come at him.
I don't believe
Eric is a late responder.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
To me, Eric is a late responder. Eric is the one who tries to bow up at somebody after he's already missed his chance. But I do think that there was a certain, bravado about him because it was Chris, because Chris is a black man. But I think that Eric is, in general, one who decides after the fact, oh, let me go back and defend my woman because I didn't do it in the time, during the time that I was supposed to do that. So, he's a bit of a simp. Eric is, and again, that's my definition of simp. To me, a simp is a man that doesn't hold his own. It's not we've been seeing these things go across social media, but for me, a simp is a man that doesn't hold his own. And I think Eric was being a simp when he came with, first of all, during the dune buggy conversation, when everything was happening, and he didn't stand up for his wife because Ryan was not there. Right. Ryan was not sitting next to Clara. Clara stopped talking, but Eric and Virginia were there. So that's mainly after a certain point that who he was talking to. And so then later, here comes Eric again. Eric had to get up his courage. Some of us are those people, like, if you say something to us, boom, 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 we can come right back at you, right? Like, we're going to come right. Eric is not that guy. Eric is the guy that goes and takes a shower and thinks, damn, that's what I should have said. And so he came back and it was totally off. It was totally off.
I understand that. I don't think that he would have defended her either way, but my thing is the whole calm down. You're being too aggressive. Oh, you scared everybody. That I'm looking past the fact that, oh, you a late bloomer. You're condescending and you have an undertone with what you're saying. That's how I took that. He's always alluding to this man being overly aggressive, but you're not taking responsibility for the fact that you ain't in your lane.
I agree with that, but I think he would say the same thing to Virginia. He's going to say the same thing to her in 3 months. Calm down, babe. You're being too aggressive in this situation. I think Eric is a simp. And he's going to say that to everybody. It just so happened that the first time it came up, it was against a black man.
But let's look at this also. I want y'all to consider this, and then we'll move on to the next point.
I'm listening. I'll be back. I'm listening.
So think about this. When they were out with the dune buggies and everything like that, was an open area, right? You don't know if there were a lot of people around or anything like that. And Eric piped all the way down. But when they got to a controlled environment where he knew he was going to be safe, because likely you're not going to get your face bashed in if you inside this hotel. Somebody won't get thrown. That's when he went in for the kill. That's what I saw. Because it seemed like he was like, well, hold on, wait a minute. I ain't got nowhere to turn. If it go left.
See, I took it. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't have no protection. Yeah. But now, I got everybody here now.
Right. And that's the thing. Now that I got some boundaries here, so somebody can be a buffer between me and him, because I kind of want to look like things might pop off, but not really, because please don't touch me. And I think that was a lot of it. So anyway, and what we're alluding to is that he and Chris start to have words across the table. Yeah. And first, it looked like Eric was about to stand up because he pushes back from the table. So
Chris was like, "Okay, dog, it ain't nothing but a thing. Let's come on, let's go."
So now, this is the thing that I wanted to talk about as well. Y'all know I have my little photos, but this particular scene here, I wanted to talk about this particular scene because even though it didn't have anything to do with Vincent and Brianna, they tend to be the people that's trying their best to keep the peace. And I feel like in this piece right here, this is a motion picture right here, because I couldn't get it in clear to that. But where Vince pushes Chris clearly all the way to hell out the room to diffuse the situation so that nothing will pop off any worse than it already has. It's kind of like, again, let's go back to culture. Black man tell another black man, we ain't finna do this here.
Exactly.
We are not going to do this here. And so you don't
You're not about to embarrass me. That's what I was getting at. You're not about to embarrass me in public. That's what you're not about to do.
Because Chris was straight to clear that room. He's gonna clear the room.
Yeah, I feel like together that Vince and Brianna are a good couple when it comes to they can set the tone for the other couples.
Yes,
you know, like they're able to bring, even though they're you know, I guess they're fairly young because I feel like they're right in the middle of the age groups or whatever, at least the matched groups. I feel like they're kind of in the middle as far as personality wise, but also just level headedness. Like they have a couple of things they need to work out later, but I think overall for the whole group, they're able to reach all the other four couples the way that nobody else can.
Right.
And so seeing that, because I saw Brianna get up, you know, Paige was over there on the side. Brianna went and grabbed Paige. Hey, let's go over here. Let's talk. Let's do this. And it was great. But then you saw that other couple over there, them post-orgasmic couple, they was over in the corner. I can't believe this is happening.
Mm-hmm. Karen and Ted. Mm-hmm.
Getting it together. They and that was what I really felt like we're going to see, and I don't think we're going to see them as a group hang out too much more after this.
No,
because of all this situation. But I felt like that was them trying to keep the peace within. You know, they don't like each other. We already established that, but we're not gonna take it to, we're not gonna have a kerfuffle, as Judge Judy says. We're gonna have that. Not in on Al Gore's internet and not doing Black History Month. That's what we said, right?
Right.
you know the two.
History Month, Don.
That's right. Not in Black History Month. We're not doing that. So just want to know what everybody's point real quick about those things.
I think that for the most part, I would say that Vince and Brianna do care.
Absolutely.
They don't care enough about it to allow it to interfere with what they have going on.
Absolutely.
I think they're a great
Agreed.
of knowing their place.
Agreed.
You know, that's how I feel about that, because they're, I'm going to be here when you need me to be here.
Absolutely.
But you're grown enough and old enough to take care of your own stuff.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Brianna and Vincent are, listen, I'm going to give you everything in the beginning. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to tell you what I think you need to do and be. And it's from a genuine place. Mm-hmm. And if you don't receive it, they're going to back up. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to let that middle happen. And however you come out on the end, they're still going to be there for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so I respect them for that. So, and so even when Clara and Ryan, said, I thank God that you are, kind of like a normal guy in that, because he also handled himself very well in the situation. And so, I just kind of noticed that the brown guys handled themselves differently. I did notice that the brown gentlemen in all situations handle themselves a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. Where they were trying to shut it all down in general, and not, except for Chris. They were trying to bring Chris down, and just like, hey, let's just be at peace. They were trying to do that, and in the midst of everything that was going on.
But do y'all realize that when all of that was going on, Jacob was still at the table like, but where my steak at?
I didn't see that.
What to do is stop me from eating today.
I didn't see that. Like, where my food?
This is not my business, and I'm going
this is not my fight. Somebody got the lid to tell the story. Do you understand me? While I'm getting this tea, bring me my steak. Thank you very kindly.
We need for them sitting at the table, because they are the epitome of I'm minding the business that pays me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we see them getting, Brianna's talking to Paige, same story. She's just like, I thought we were done with this. I'm over it. You see that Vincent pretty much is walking Chris around the building until he feels like he can
Until
let
he
him
calms
go.
down.
And
Vincent was not going to let him go. Like, I love that. He was not going to let him go.
And the thing about it, he was right there in his face. He didn't care if he got in his face. He's like, you're going to have to fight me before you fight him. So
Vincent went in with that shoulder. He said,
he led with that shoulder and he pushed him back by the waist. And I'm like, see, he went to the bulldozer effect. I'm gonna just go ahead and diffuse all of this because we ain't doing this today. And then you see that Virginia and Eric laid up on each other. They just drunk and
so yeah, wait. So Virginia and Eric left.
They went to one side of the hotel.
Wait. Virginia and Eric left.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent took Chris away.
Mm-hmm.
Brianna took Paige away.
Yeah. Right.
Who was sitting there holding the bag? There was somebody at the table.
Clara and Ryan was there.
And Ryan
and Jacob was there. And
where did Haley go?
They
where
were like,
Haley go?
Where's what?
Where was Haley?
She was sitting on her end of the table.
Still sitting there.
Okay.
And so what they ended up doing, just kind of like, Jacob was like, I'm gonna eat this good food, and so Clara and Ryan went on to their room and tucked it in. Like, this is where we see the conversation between Clara and Ryan, where Ryan kind of tell her, "Stay the hell out of these folk business," but he said it in the nice diplomatic Christian way.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at.
I'm not mad at that either.
And I think that conversation needed to be had. I'm not sure what else was said, but sometimes you gotta kind of pull your spouse in and be like, "This wasn't your battle to fight." And so to go further, and I know we gotta go, but to go further into, hey. all these, this is not your battle. Yeah,
let's just in this. So when Haley and Jacob, so Haley needed a break later, and she lied to Jacob.
This is the end. Woo, come on.
Right. She should have just told him. She shouldn't have lied. She should have just told him, I want to be alone.
Yeah, and I think the problem with that they have had is that even Jacob has said this, that what he's starting to see is that she just refuses to be honest with him about her feelings.
Yeah.
He kind of asked her, I want to know where we are feeling like, it was okay at first. We had sex. It seemed like everything was fine. But then all of a sudden you flipped the script on me. And so, like I told y'all earlier, I think she's socially awkward. I really do believe a lot of this has to do with, everybody's like, well, he doesn't pick up on social cues, but neither does she when it comes to the whole fact that you keep saying, I couldn't find a man that was into me. Well, hell, this one into you. And
weird at all.
Yeah, I don't think that she is socially awkward. I think that she is not comfortable telling her truth without being afraid that there's going to be a lash back on her.
Yeah,
because we have all been in a situation where, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid of telling him how I feel because he's going to leave me. That's how I feel that Haley is. She's like, I don't want to tell him because he might leave me.
Because she felt like she was supposed to.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
She said she had sex with him because she felt like she was supposed to do that.
Oh, I missed that.
What?
She said that? I missed that.
Make me go back in here and watch this for a third
time. Oh my God, now I got to go back.
She said, I'm married.
I'm trying not to have no lies.
Supposed to do. That's what she said.
When did she say that? Was this episode or maybe the one before?
No, it was when I was watching this episode that I heard it said. Now I ain't gonna lie, it might have been when they was showing what's coming up next. But she specifically said, well, I did that because I felt like I'm married. That's what I'm supposed to do.
So
Wow.
now, here are several problems that I have with those
That's
type.
sad.
And it's sad if that's
Now we go into women feeling like we have to give our bodies, which is a whole other conversation.
I'm not writing this down anymore. It's your turn.
I know, but I'm saying like it goes so much further than just those little things that these couples say.
Right. And that's the thing. So I think he would have been okay. I think Jacob is pretty much just tell me what's up and I'll
Yeah.
take cover.
I agree.
It doesn't strike me as I require these things. He made it clear that he is very attracted to her. He made it clear that he would like to be closer to her. And he also made it clear that he wants to do things at her pace. We know that he has a couple of, social issues when it comes. He's stuck in them 80s, baby. He just stuck in them 80s, and that's who he gonna be. That's fine. But I think that she went out of her way to hurt his feelings. I feel like when she decided not to be honest with him and say she needed that space. And so when she told him we just gonna have a girls' night out, and he comes downstairs and see, well, hell, everybody else here, why not me? That's gonna create trust within the relationship. How can I trust you? I mean, I know I just met you, but hell, if you can't be honest in these first, 36,
Right.
90, was it 96, 70, 128 hours that we just met each other, then what is the future gonna look, to? And this was a simple lie,
Yeah.
you can easily roll that one out. Then what hell? I don't know what else you can lie about so easily.
Yeah. I just really feel like nothing ever works out for her. Because she doesn't allow it to. I think she's her own worst enemy. Yeah, I think she's her own worst enemy. And I think and a part of me feels like she just don't like him, because you got to think about the fact she's 28, he's 38. He's stuck in the 80s. She was born in the 80s. She was born in the 90s. So she's already awkward. She's already awkward, and now she needs to try to figure out how to relate to him. Right. For her, that's overwhelming. Being that she's 28, she ain't had no man since she was 21. All her friends have. They married. She's been a bridesmaid. Yeah. She's the one left out sitting there looking. So I don't even know if she even wanted to be married. I think it was something for her to do.
I think she was particularly lonely because, like you said, with those kinfolk, not kinfolk, with them friends of hers. First of all, I think I said it in the first episode. Your friends ain't shit. Because first thing that she said when she was like, "Hey, y'all, I'm getting married," and that one friend, I don't remember her name, Lindsay or something like that. I had to give my name. She was like, what? And they've been so used to her doing everything and being like their little lapdog that just handles the business for them. They're like, well, you're unattached. Go handle our business.
Right.
They were not. You could
She's
tell
the wing woman.
Right. And that was the thing. It didn't seem like they were that supportive anyway. And it was just kind of like, he just got to learn who Haley is. It was never the genuine support that she thought she was going to get from them by saying that. But also, looking at all of my friends have gotten married. I'm not even booed up. So I might as well just go and let somebody find me.
Be this dramatic.
7 years
married to a stranger.
That I've been with somebody. I'm not gonna say been with, but at least been in a relationship. I don't know if she's been with anybody or not, but I feel like there's a lot of layers there that we're not seeing when it comes to those two. We know that Eric probably has a hard time because of his very focused interests, that he probably has a hard time relating to people because he is very much, he like them folks that believe in like them period pieces and go out to do the Civil War reenactments.
Oh my God.
And it's
those
really
people.
hard. Yeah, child. And so that's the thing that, we have to be considerate of. But at the same time, I feel like Haley is never forthcoming.
No.
Because, there's something about her that ain't quite right with me. I just look at her.
She got an IEP plan. That's what it is. Oh.
Logging off. Good night, y'all.
She turned off her camera. Oh my god. Okay, y'all, we gotta go soon though. We gotta go.
Yeah,
It's 11 o'clock. It's almost
18 minutes in. So okay. So the last thing I wanted to do, because y'all know we 2 hours 18 minutes in, and I thought we were gonna have time to bring people in, but we had so much to talk about tonight. Moving forward.
Yes. Oh, I love that phrase. Moving forward.
Moving forward.
That means
look
we're
into
not going to do things as we have before.
That's what we have to do. This here crew. I don't know. I guess I posted the link, but I wanted to hear from Wendy a little bit, but
Wendy, you still there?
Go to the YouTube page and the link is there.
Is Wendy still here? She's been cracking me up all
just commented about 4 minutes ago, so I'm
Sharita has been cracking me up. Ann has been cracking me up. You had all your TSU people here tonight. You had your Zetas. I brought in your Zetas and your TSU people, and I am neither. I am a G5G from Jackson State. Right.
Because I think that if they had a couple of statements, this is the time to do it. So we can go on and wrap it up for the evening, because we got to figure out some other things in the after party. But yeah, so what do y'all think is going to happen next week? We see that somebody gonna pop off next week at Chris. I don't know if it's gonna be the baby mama or if it's gonna be.
I don't think it's the baby mama. I don't think she's really pregnant.
Okay.
I got a little.
I don't think she's pregnant. I think she's trying to get him back.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a little spoiler the other day, so I'm gonna reserve my comments until after the next episode.
Okay. After party. All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Going over everybody's still where they are as far as their rating for this particular.
Yeah.
Episode.
I've probably gone down to, like, I was 6.5 to 7. I'm probably 5 to 6, because I know there's so much more, to come. Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of that is going to be on the back of some child as far as drama is concerned. But yeah, I'm like 5 or 6. It was good, but it was good. That's a really, really good 5 or 6, though. Yeah. It's not a boring 5 or 6 at all.
Yeah, it was a lot. I see now that this ain't no way we can do this in an hour. I don't know what I'd be thinking.
I done told you. We done had this conversation. I don't understand how people don't be listening to me when I be telling them, hey man, that ain't gonna work out. But that's okay. That's fine. You ain't gotta listen to me.
I'm just gonna tell you, I'm just gonna say this. Give me the time clock, it'll be 45 minutes. That's all I'm saying.
You know what?
You give me the time clock, it'll be 45 minutes.
You know what? Let me think about that. I'm gonna let you be the timekeeper, and I will give you your horn.
We'll be done. We'll be done. We'll be done and wholly conversed in 45 minutes.
How about that? You know what? We may have to do that for. We'll talk about which one we should do that for. But anyway, is there anything else, ladies? Anything y'all want to just leave lasting? The last remarks of the evening, because we need to get out of here.
I'm good.
We're good. Let's wrap it up.
Okay. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, again, thank you, review crew, RC ladies, for coming and reading y'all Bible for today. And all the scriptures and verses we done went over.
I'm realizing that one side of my cheek is bigger than the other as I smile. Oh my God. Like, I never look at myself, and so when I smile, look at that. Like, you see how this one is bigger than that.
Like, I'm trying to think about that. See, and I be like that about my eyes. I'm like, I think one sit higher than the other. Let me put my glasses on.
I'm never on camera, so I don't realize these things until I'm with you ladies, but I so enjoy. I so enjoy hanging out with y'all and talking about this. This is so good for me. This is so good. I'm good.
I appreciate y'all being on the ride. We didn't start acting crazy and stuff. I appreciate this Rona situation. Yeah, I appreciate that. Anybody else? Anything else? So we can go ahead and wrap it up.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all, thank y'all for joining us. I'm glad she came up. And we will see you on our next review. I think the next review is Bell Collective. We will post the thumbnail when we figure out what date this is that we're going to review it. Look for it soon within the next 36 to 48 hours. And we're going to see y'all later. Thank y'all for joining us and all our crazy.
Good night. Thank y'all for having us. This was so much fun. Oh my God, I love this.
Everybody wait. Everybody wait.
Bye.